Ladies, gentlemen, Huns, Dallins, everyone in between, I am coming to you live this week from the Cambridge Club Festival. I have got an esteemed guest who is the absolute Hun of radio. With karaoke bangers, she's smooth, she's your drive time treat, and she loves a bookie work. She massages your ears on a daily basis with a beautiful voice. Cambridge Club Festival, the Hundamental Guide to Life. Please welcome the fabulous Angie Greaves.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you, Cambridge?
Now, I've got to tell you, when we were chatting backstage earlier on, when we went to collect Angie, because she's very busy, because you're all about this weekend, aren't you?
I am. I'm here all weekend. Yeah. I'm hosting the main stage.
Hosting the main stage. Yeah. We'll talk more about that in a second.
Absolutely.
I bet there's some backstage goss that we don't know already.
As if I would ever disclose that.
Have another little drink of that, Angie. Go. Well, on the way over, Angie said to us, she said, "Is it okay if I have a Prosecco?" And I was like, "Yes, hun, you can have a Prosecco." Because if you didn't know, Prosecco is the drink of these girls know down the front here, of course they do. So welcome to Cambridge, welcome to the Hundamental Guide to Life. Are you having a good weekend so far?
Having an amazing weekend, drove up last night, had a lovely night's sleep, came over this morning, and I've just watched the park just, grow. You just have this feeling people are all coming together, families, hen parties. It's just all really coming together beautifully. It's lovely.
It's lovely. And there's some fabulous acts on this weekend, aren't there?
Yep. So once I've finished talking to you, I'm going to go and introduce Misha Paris on stage. I am going to be interviewing and introducing the Jacksons. And we can't forget Nile Rodgers and Chic. That is going to be the one. Really looking forward to that, yeah.
It's going to be a fabulous day. Just to let you know, to all my friends and family, I've told everyone I'm here supporting Diana Ross, so just work with me here.
She's tomorrow. And I can't wait to interview and see her tomorrow.
I'll be back in Turkey then, but I'll have Diana Ross the boss on really, really loud, and I'll be wandering around in a towel just after I've done the after sun. Fabulous. So Angie, welcome to the Hundamental Guide to Life. Now, on the podcast every week with our special guests, we always ask them, do they consider themselves a little bit of a Hun, and do you know what Hun culture is?
If you'd asked me that 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, I would have said no. Didn't realise I was a Hun. And I think I've always been a Hun. I'm not sure that lockdown made me one, but I think it probably came out more. Because I think for those of us who embraced lockdown, and not everybody did, I think we discovered ourselves. We discovered things about ourselves. I think we embraced time. And I can remember at the beginning when it all started, I said, for those of us that come through it, we're going to know strength we never knew before. We're going to know love that we never knew before. And our priorities are going to change. And I think that's really what happened for those of us that were able to embrace it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think you mentioned something great there with lockdown, because my Instagram account, I was just sat at home, and I'll be honest with you, I was sat there, and my employment situation was tricky because, things changed, and I was like, I'm going to start making memes on the Instagram. My life has completely changed, and I get to hang around with drag queens. I get to come to fabulous events like this. I get to chat with great guests like this because lockdown kind of made me pivot. And the thing is with memes in lockdown, we were all bored, sat on our sofas thinking, oh, God, what can we do? Let's have a laugh about a meme of Lisa Scott Lee from Steps, And that's sort of how my Instagram blew up. So, lockdown just, I always say, made me pivot rather than, change direction.
Yeah, and I think lockdown made us all one. Yeah. We were all in the same boat. We were all feeling the pinch. We were all fed up, unless your name's Boris Johnson and you were having a party. But we were all in the same boat. We were all trying to get through this thing. And I think that kind of humbled those of us that were a bit, hoity-toity. And I think it also gave those who maybe didn't enjoy lockdown that much an opportunity to express themselves and say things that maybe they wouldn't have said before.
Sure.
So for me, it was a time of growth, for me.
So what sort of content were you consuming to fill your days, to make you laugh during lockdown?
Well, for me, I'll tell you exactly what happened to me in lockdown, because I've got two daughters. One was working, one was just finishing performing arts. And the conversation in the mornings used to be, to my eldest, have you got petrol in your car? If you don't leave now, you're going to be late for work. What do you want for dinner? And then for my youngest, it was, if you want to get on the tube, if you want to lift now, come now. Have you got money on your oyster? What have you got for dinner? During lockdown, our conversations changed. We actually talked to each other. I actually got to know my daughters. My daughters actually said, Mum, we like you. You're quite cool. But that would have never happened before because we were spending time with each other. Sometimes it was hard, but I was going out in the park every morning walking. Some mornings they came. Like I said, for those of us that could embrace it, we discovered ourselves.
Now, during lockdown, do you remember when we were all doing those online quizzes? I mean, when you look back, it was we were like week 6 into it, and we had theme nights, we had a murder mystery, I had wigs going. It was great. Did anybody else do that, or was that just me? Do you remember when they had House Party as well? Do you remember that app where everybody was messaging each other randomly? It's like these things just would never have happened. We never would have had the chance to do that.
We had Zoom parties.
Zoom party.
So we'd get a bottle of Prosecco, and how many of us would be on a Zoom? I'd have the music playing in the background, and we would just laugh and chat and laugh and chat and eat.
Fabulous. Okay, so we found out that this sort of Hun culture thing bubbled up. Well, it actually sort of exploded during lockdown. Now, part of Hun culture is a celebration of all things Hun, and that's everything from fashion, entertainment. So I would like to ask you, Angie, what is the Hunniest item of clothing in your closet?
At the moment, I can't answer that.
Okay.
But I will tell you a story about what happened to me during lockdown, because I was very, very fortunate. I was able to work from home, and I enjoyed working from home. And I know not everybody can say that, so I really do express how fortunate I am. So I did my radio show from home. I lived in a tracksuit. When the time came to go back to work, the tracksuit could stand up on its own. That's all I'm going to say. So my daughter said to me, Mum, come on now, here is an opportunity to start maybe a little fashion piece on Instagram. So I started something called Fashion Friday. So every Friday, it didn't have to be a new outfit. It could just be something that you loved. Put it on, walk like you own the pavement and step out and just, yes. Anyway, a PR company said, they wanted to take this over.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, okay, fine, let's have a chat. And I think it was the second dress that this person got. And this is why it's important. You've got to know who you're working with. You've got to know your people. The second dress this person got, it wasn't me. And my daughter said to me, Mum, if you put that dress on, I'm going to get you a big pair of earrings. You can go back into EastEnders as Pat Butcher. So Fashion Friday was on hold for a while. But that, for me, fashion and lockdown, I don't think we cared.
No.
There was a lot going on around Instagram about we ladies not wearing bras. Does anybody recall that? We just relaxed and we just let it all hang out. I see you nodding, baby girl. But you know what I mean? But we did, because we could relax, couldn't we?
Yeah. I spent the whole time in a hoodie. There you go. A nice pink hoodie, and gaining stains throughout the week and the day, and I was like, I washed it at the end of the week, it's fine. But yes, of course, one of the major fashion trends of Hun culture is leopard print or animal print. Now, girly whirlies out there, give us a wave and a cheer.
Love it.
You know it. She knows what I'm talking about.
Love the backpack.
Who has got a plethora of animal print in their wardrobe? Come on, let's full disclosure. Give us a wave and a cheer.
Yes.
Has anyone got any animal print on now? Full Cat Slater vibes?
Love it.
See, that is the print of Huns. Do you believe? Yeah, full Cat Slater vibes. I love it. And you've got to own it, haven't you? You've got to go own it. The big hoops, the big soap matriarch fashion, that's what I'm all about. Let's have a round of applause for the leopard print skirt over there. Fabulous.
I love this.
Sorry, girls, with the sparkles. We're not taking it away from you. We'll be back to you in a second, okay? Fabulous. And also, another big part of Hun culture is a nice inspirational quote. Now, we know that that you have your positive affirmations, and you're all about that, giving positivity on the airways. What is the inspirational quote that you live, love, and laugh by?
Okay. Well, I say live, love, and laugh. I was once told, and I've stuck by this quote, life is short, or long with the wrong people. Oh my gosh. And someone told me that when the person was coming out of a relationship. Let's say the relationship was 10 years. The last 2 years was a struggle. Those last 2 years, when this person knew they needed to come out of the relationship, felt longer than the previous 8 years. Does that make sense? And I tell you, I've stood by that. Life is short or long with the wrong people. Oh!
Can you write that down for me? Because I might have that done on the back of my leg in Arabic after this. Fabulous. I'll see what it looks like. I'll let you know.
You do it.
I'll do it. Or I might get it put up in my bathroom with a piece of driftwood. You know, who's got honey decorations out there in their home? Has anybody got any live, love, laugh photo frames around their house? Come on, let's full disclosure. We've had anyone give us a wet... You wouldn't. Have you got any hun decorations, home decorations?
Yes, I have a love mirror. The word love, that's on the desk in my hallway. In my kitchen, I've got 3 very nice pictures hanging up. One is margarita, one is gin and tonic, one is Prosecco. And I've taken a photo of me with the thumbs up with Prosecco because I love Prosecco. It's all I drink.
If anyone's listening to this who is a Prosecco company, I think we can get you a good brand deal
I
here.
would love a brand deal. I just love it. I do like champagne, but I just think there is something more fun and bubbly and fizzy about Prosecco. I don't know what it is, but I just love it.
It's the bubbles, girls. It makes us drunk, don't it? Who's a Prosecco drinker out there? Or Prosexy, as
Come on now, where's the Prosecco posse? Let me hear you. All right,
but if you're not into Prosecco's, then you might be into cocktails, and we call them cocky teas, okay? So, who's a cocky tea drinker? Ooh, strawberry daiquiri. Ooh, I love one of them gold ones from Marks and Spencer's. Those gold ones from Marks and Spencer's, the things that they've now called them passion fruit martinis, but you know what they're really called. They're actually 8%. So if anybody needs a drink, or if you're getting them that, you get more bang for your buck with the Marks and Spencer's 8% passion fruit martini. This is where you heard it first, okay? And next time you're in Marks and Spencer's, you'll think that bloke who was dressed up like a bouncer and crossed with a sherbet. He told me that. Fabulous. There we are. I don't like it. I tell you what, I was saying to Angie earlier that when we were backstage, I used to love Prosecco, like, ooh, sexy with the girlies and all like that, but I am 2 glasses in and I am reaching for the Rennies. Do we know what I'm talking about? Do we know what I'm talking about? Somebody said to me, they said, right, when you get over 35, it's game over. It's Gaviscon and Rennies until the cows come home. Would you agree?
No.
No? No? Heartburn has come for me really, really bad. So anyway.
No. A nice Prosecco with maybe a little tip of food colouring. A friend of mine puts just a drop of gold food colouring in. Yeah. So can you imagine that?
Oh, dead premium.
Love it.
Dead premium.
Yes.
Or a bit of pink, just for girlies and that. Lovely. Fabulous. Fabulous. Now, when you're on a night out, Angie, are you a connoisseur of a jeans and a nice top?
I think you can't go wrong with jeans.
Yeah.
And I think when you think jeans, or you used to think jeans, you always thought blue. But you can get jeans in any colour now.
You absolutely
white jeans, pink jeans, black jeans, green jeans, And I think jeans are just a staple that everyone, not just every woman, everyone should have in their wardrobe.
Sure.
The thing is, if you've got, like, blue jeans, I don't know why, but any colour top goes with blue jeans. But if you had, say, pink jeans, you'd have to colour coordinate with
leopard
those.
Print.
Yeah,
Leopard
there
print.
you go,
there
leopard print. But there is something about a good pair of nice, skinny blue jeans, a white T-shirt, a black jacket. You really can't go wrong. And then you've got to have the right handbag, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all about that. Us Huns on a night out. Who's a sucker for jeans and a nice top, girlies? What are we wearing tonight, girls? Jeans and a nice top in the group chat. We know it goes on, doesn't it? Yeah. Fabulous. Fabulous. The thing is, though, for boys, for men's fashion and for anybody who follows men's fashion, jeans can make or break, okay? And I'm going to say 2 words. I don't know whether it's one. I'm going to call it 2. Boot cut. Who knows what I'm talking about? Anybody got a boot cut jean out there? You know what I'm talking about. Girlies, would we allow the hubby to have a boot cut jean and those work shoes? Anyone?
But, I'm just looking over here now. There's a lady there in a yellow T-shirt with her jeans turned up. Big up yourself, girl.
Fabulous.
Come on now. Then
look
there's her
great.
friend sitting next to her. Are they skinny jeans that you've got on, hun? Skinny jeans, and she's got on a grey T-shirt. Lady here with the hat on, white top, and she's got on some dark blue jeans. Come on now. Gentleman sitting there with his hat and his jeans. There's something staple about the jeans, isn't there? My sister here, I like your top.
Yeah.
Come on now, girl. No, I do think you can't go wrong with a good pair of jeans.
You can't go wrong with a pair of jeans and a nice top there. And that is a Hun uniform when they go out in the group chat. Fabulous. Okay, now another thing about Hun culture and 90s and noughties nostalgia is that it was the birth of reality TV. Yeah? Yeah? Now, who remembers the glory years of the X Factor? Yeah? Now, we were talking backstage, weren't we, about one of the greatest TV moments of our time, which I think, who remembers when Alexandra brought on Beyonce on the X Factor? I cry even. That was the best moment on reality. Give us a round of applause if you've seen that. And that is the best moment recently. We were talking about that, weren't we?
Yep, we were saying that year on X Factor, I think could have been 2 years running, there were contestants who were paired up with artists, and it just worked.
Fabulous.
So Ollie Murs was paired up with Robbie Williams. It just worked. Joe McElderry was paired up with George Michael, and it just worked. And I remember Alexandra Burke singing, and then Beyonce walked on, and I can remember just being on the edge of the sofa and then just sitting back because it just worked.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
I've got to be honest with you, on a night out with my group of friends, when we come in, we literally we've got a YouTube playlist, and it's basically... Do you know what I'm talking about? It's a YouTube playlist, and we go, oh, put Alexandra on, and we're all sat there weeping into our glasses of Prosecco watching Alexandra. And of course, one thing you mentioned about Joe McElderry and George Michael, so we've actually had Joe McElderry on the podcast a couple of weeks ago. Don't forget to download it. We know where to get that from. And Joe is actually, because it was such an effect on him singing with a legend that is George, that he's actually going out and doing a touring show. And I don't want to use the word tribute because it's absolutely not that, but to celebrate George's music this year. And he spoke a lot about that on the podcast because, you know, it was just such an iconic TV moment, Joe McElderry and George.
And well, George is a universal artist, and I think his songs sound different now that he's no longer here. There's things I hear in his songs that I heard before, but I now hear them here. I know that's very Hun,
sure,
but I do hear them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, and don't forget his documentary, Freedom Uncut. That's coming out in June, end of June, 22nd. That's going to be good.
It's going to be a George Michael celebration coming
Absolutely.
up. Fabulous. And the music and the time, you know, all of those X Factor stuff. But we've got to admit that it did go a bit downhill after about 2013, the X Factor, wasn't it? You know, did we watch Britain's Got Talent recently? Did anyone watch the Britain's Got Talent final last week? Did you enjoy it? Yeah, Comedian won it this year. Fabulous. And also, so you said, we were speaking about backstage, do you like reality TV in general?
Okay, I think when reality TV first came about, we watched it because we were inquisitive. Sure. And then there was a period of what I would call, not addiction, but it's on, so let's sit and watch it. I never thought I would get grasped by The Masked Singer. That is my program. I absolutely love it because I know I'm going to laugh. And I think it came out at a time and it reached its peak when I think we needed to laugh. Do you know what I mean? We were just so stuck in our homes, not sure what was going on. Lockdown 1, lockdown 2, go back to work, don't go back to work. We just didn't know what to do. And then this TV show comes on with people dressed up as mushrooms and
donuts,
traffic cones and squirrels. But for me, I picked it up really because a friend of mine who lives in the States was sending me a lot of the artists from the States. So I saw Patti LaBelle in the American one, Wendy Williams, Gladys Knight. So when it came here, I was like, right, I've got to take this in. And I have to say, Saturday nights for me, I loved The Masked Singer, and I still can't believe Donuts didn't win last year. I was very, very upset. Very upset indeed.
Have we got any Masked Singers fans out there? Yeah. You like the Masked. She hates Britain's Got Talent, but she's all over that Masked Singer.
Because the Masked Singer, you know you're going to laugh, don't you? You just know you're going to laugh.
It's just such a random thing when you think about it. It's these 7-foot inanimate objects singing classics, and you've got... It just blows my mind.
Being brought on by security, and you just think, what is this? But you're going to laugh. And I think that one TV show, I think it was the medicine that we needed at the time, because laughter is good. It's really good.
We've spoken a lot about the lockdown here. One of the craziest things that I will remember about that time is, do you remember when EastEnders just stopped for like 8 weeks? That's just crazy. Like, EastEnders stopped because of that. Now, and of course, soaps and soap matriarchs are a massive part of Hun culture and memes on the Instagram. People like Peggy Mitchell, Pat Butcher, Kat Slater. So are you a soap fan?
I'm not a soap fan, but I am a soap fan. But what I will say about soaps is you can disappear from a soap for 5 years and you can come back and nothing's changed. Everyone's still angry. Everyone's still drinking in the pub. Everyone's still in the cafe. Everyone's shouting. But, you know what I mean? We just watch it, don't we?
It's so funny. Like, when I was younger, I mean, I'm not a soap watcher now. The glory years for me and are Kat Slater and the Peggy Mitchells and the Pat Butchers. But when I was younger, we didn't used to watch the soaps at all throughout the thing. And then Christmas soaps, you'd have it in. You'd video plus it, and you'd be time. Did anybody else just do that? Just ignore the soaps all year and just get into it at Christmas? Is it just me and my family? We're weird, aren't we? You're all looking at me now. You're judging me. I'm going to leave. No.
Well, there is always a Christmas highlight in the soaps, isn't there?
Scandal.
I know. I don't know what it is. And I sit down and I say, I'm not watching it. And then I watch it and I get hooked. And even, I think it was like 2-3 nights ago, my daughter said, Mum, where's Phil from EastEnders? And I just went, Phil! Phil. But we're waiting for Phil to come back. Why? I don't know. But we'll sit and we'll watch it. We'll moan that we've watched it, but we watch it.
Oh, I've just realised, I've just disclosed here that I don't watch the soap, but I do know that Phil Mitchell is in prison at the moment. Is this right? Is Phil in prison? You don't watch the soaps. You're here having a nice cultured week. Fabulous. Yes, of course, Phil Mitchell, if he is in prison or if he's not, just let me know, because I don't know why I know that random fact. Now, 90s and noughties music and pop culture, for me, and for what I do, is the best. 90s and noughties for me. 90s and noughties fans, give us a cheer. Yeah. Who are your standout acts? And obviously, I know that you work a lot with these artists and play them on the radio. Who are your standout acts from the...
Well, for me, whether it's 90s or noughties, it's a song that transcends the test of time. So it's not about, not necessarily about when it was released, it's about what it does to you now and what it's always done to you. So if I said Candy State and Young Hearts Run Free, all right. You see, we're getting some high fives. We're getting some virtual high fives. Okay. So even though that would have been out in the 70s, that still makes you feel good now. Okay. If I was to say to you, Luther Vandross, Never Too Much. All right, now we're getting some more high fives. I'm not saying that music of the 90s and noughties doesn't work. I mean, for me, because at the time I was working on a radio station that was pure R&B.
Sure.
And R&B in the 90s is what Motown was in the 60s. Sure. So, I'm a Mary J. Blige girl. I'm a Faith Evans girl. I'm a Biggie Smalls girl. I'm a Teddy Riley girl. Do you see what I'm saying? So I do think there is something about 90s music. And, 90s R&B is what Motown was the 60s.
When I was driving up here this morning, I was actually listening to Heart Naughties, because they've got a new radio station dedicated to that time. And they said that Ashanti is on tour here at the moment. And she was on tour in Manchester the other night, and literally just in the middle of the city centre just burst into an impromptu performance. I'd just lose it. I would. If that happened to me, I would just lose it.
Yep, we like a bit of R&B.
One of my favourite songs, and there's something with my Instagram account, which is, this will follow me around now for absolutely forever. Now, when I was on holiday last year, remember that week when we could only go to Portugal? Well, I went to Portugal, and do you remember when the green light's on, we're off to Portugal? So I got to Portugal. There is a point to this story. Now, we'll get it back to the noughties music in a minute. I rolled out my towel, but because I do drag brunches on the weekend, I don't do performing drag myself, but if you do want to come to one of our events, hunbrunch.com, you'll have a great time. I was there, and because I had to get back for the drag brunch, as soon as I rolled out my towel, they changed all of the restrictions. So I literally just booked a flight and come back. But But whilst I was there on my sunbed, I made a meme which has changed my life forever. And I wrote this meme saying that there's two types of people in the world. One are the people who know the words to Freed From Desire, my lover's got no money, he's got his strong beliefs. And then the other group of people who think that it's my lover's got no money, he's got his trombolice. Do you know what I'm talking about, yeah? Have we got anybody who thought he was the trombolice out there? Yeah, fabulous. Well, basically now, what happens to me, I've got over 200,000 followers on Instagram, that every time somebody hears this song, Gala, Freed From the Desire, which was released back in 1997 or 98, I think, they record it and they go, ooh, trombolice in Bali, trombolice in New York City, trombolice in the supermarket, trombolice at Cambridge Fest. So do me a favour, can you carry on this? If you hear Gala's Freed From Desire here over the next couple of days, when I'm back in Turkey, I'll be on my sunbed. Just make sure you tag me in it, because that is my Hunsnet song, which literally follows every Saturday and Sunday morning. I wake up to inbox of people playing that song. So were you a Freed From Desire a Trombolisa?
I am Freed From Desire a Trombolisa.
You know.
I know.
Fabulous. Now, rumour has it, Angie, that a friend of yours is Jimmy Choo.
Yes.
Yes. Do you like shoes? What's your favourite type of shoes? Are you a heel?
Well, I'm wearing the slippers at the moment from the hotel, but it's a really funny story.
Uh-huh.
I was working at a radio station. I was doing a late night show, as all women did at the time, and I got a phone call saying, "Hi, Angie, how are you? Fine. Can you play me whatever the song was? Yeah. What's your name? Jimmy Choo." Well, I put the phone down because I just thought it was someone taking the mickey. And then I called my husband because my kids were little, and I said, right, have the girls gone to bed? Because he used to call me at a certain time when the girls have gone to bed, blah, blah, blah. This number comes up again. I think it was withheld. And this person said, "Hi, Angie, how are you?" "Yeah, fine." "And your name is?" And he said, "Jimmy Choo, Mr. Jimmy Choo." And I'm like, okay. So we got talking, and yes, he gave me a few pairs of shoes, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Are you a skyscraper heel or are you a flats?
I like a heel.
Nice heel.
But I'm finding this is now the time of the trainer.
The train?
Don't you find trainers now? You've got to have a good pair of trainers. And it's not even about... I don't even think it's the health issues of wearing flats, because it's... Trainers come in so many colours, so many styles. You know, you've got to have a good pair of trainers. And you've got to have a white pair of trainers as well. There you go. So I've got my white Vans for when I go on stage. Uh-huh. My daughter's into, is it Steve Madden and Nike and all that. And what I find as well is, you might see a nice pair of shoes for, I don't know, 50, 60 pounds. You could be spending 110, 120 pounds on trainers. But having a good selection of trainers, that is the lick right now. Vans are interesting as well, because they come in all colours, all shapes. You can get like the roses on Vans. You can get the checkered Vans, like the checkboard. You can get them in all kinds of colours. So I think a good selection of trainers is definitely a must. As much as I love my killer heels, a good selection of trainers is a must.
Absolutely. Now, because I am so obsessed with the 90s and noughties, and I'm actually 6'5", 6'4.5", I've just bought myself a pair of Buffaloes, and they're backstage. Now, we know what Buffaloes are, those big ones, which basically...
They're a good 3 inches on top. Yeah.
They are. They're backstage. I'll show them. I'll bring them out a little bit later. But I just bought myself, and it's basically, I know, unfortunately, when I pass, I'm going to go with a head injury, because I literally have banged my head so many times since buying Buffaloes. So my piece of advice to anybody out there who is quite tall and wants to stay with us is do not buy Buffaloes and stick around with that.
Okay.
Fabulous. Now, one thing we do here on the podcast every week with our guests, Angie, is we ask them for 3 iconic tracks that make them live, love, and laugh. Now, I'll give you a bit of time to think about this, because live, love, laugh is a huge Hun mantra. Of course it is. Live, love, laugh. So the first track, the song that makes you live. Okay, so I'm going to set the scene. You're getting ready for a night out with your girlies. You're going to go wild in the club. You got the Prosecco flowing. You've got the music on. You're getting ready. What song is playing?
Well, I have mentioned it already. Young Hearts Run Free, Candy Staton.
And that gets you going.
Well, it's just a freeing song.
Uh-huh.
And I think because she wrote it around, I think it was her first divorce, it's about the afterwards. It's about the fact that afterwards, you don't have to live in the dull moment. No. You can always overcome. Okay, one I did mention, but I'm going to mention another. There's a choir from the States that are really funky. They just took gospel and feel-good music to the mountain. They're called the Sounds of Blackness. All right now. There's a track they had out called Be Optimistic. As long as you keep your head to the sky. That keeps me going. That makes me feel really, really good whenever I do listen to that. Gosh, you see, you've started me off now. I do like a bit of Elton John, Philadelphia Freedom. Oh, you've got me going now.
Is there a love song that you like that you think, oh, that puts me in the mood for love, or you like have it on when you've got the candlelit dinner going on?
Luther Vandross, So Amazing.
His greatest hits album just on play.
Luther and So Amazing. That is a lovely song, yeah.
And finally, a song that makes you laugh, or thinks you have a good laugh that you've had with your friends.
Oh my gosh. A song that makes me laugh. A song that makes me laugh. Okay, right, something's just come to mind. Do you remember? Oh my gosh.
We're Amongst Friends.
We're Amongst Friends. Do you remember a group called Chumbawamba? Yeah. I get knocked down and I get up again. Ain't never gonna let me down. I just think that makes me laugh. But it's so true. You get knocked down, you can't stay down. You've got to get back up again.
Fabulous. Chumbawamba. And I tell you what, because those tracks are so good, we're going to put them on the Hunsnet playlist, which you can find on Spotify. All right? Fabulous. Now, Angie, we're nearly coming to the end, but I want to talk about the weekend here, because you've got a jam-packed weekend. What's going on for you in the world of Angie here at the Cambridge Club Fest?
Well, it's actually nice to walk around this Chidley Park because there's so much going on. When the organisers of Cambridge asked me to host the main stage, I said yes. I didn't think about what was involved. And then they showed me the lineup. Now, I grew up on the Jacksons, so I'm looking forward to sitting down and having some time with Tito and Jackie and Marlon. Oh my gosh, Misa Paris, one of the most amazing British songstress that there is. Gabrielle's on tomorrow. Nile Rodgers and Chic. I don't think anybody's going to be sitting down when Nile Rodgers and Chic are on. So I'm really looking forward to putting him on stage. And then, of course, tomorrow, the Queen, Diana. I mean, did you see her last week at the Jubilee event? I mean, she was just awesome. So I'm looking forward to putting Diana Ross on stage. And this is when I have to say, Angie, you have a good job. I don't see it as a right. It's a perk. It's a blessing. And I give thanks. And I so love what I do.
Absolutely fantastic there. And you know, when you put the acts on, are you like vibing in the wings, or do you manage to get in the pit, or are you out in the front?
What I always do is, before I put an act on stage, I ask them how they like to be introduced, I might talk about songs that I like. If those songs aren't in the set, that could kill off their set. So I will say to the Jacksons, right, give me 3 songs you're going to be saying, and that's how I'll hype up the crowd. Then I'll go to the side of the stage, and then I'm just jamming. It'll be the same with Misha. It'll be the same with Diana Ross, if I get a chance to talk to her. But I mean, I can't see Diana Ross not doing Ain't No Mountain High Enough. No. Can you imagine the crowd tomorrow night when that is all just kicking off? It's going to be amazing.
But the great thing I love about the lineup, and I'm really, really gutted that I'm genuinely gutted that I'm not here to see it for the rest of the weekend, is that all of the songs and all of the artists, they're such feel-good. Because, I mean, you go to festivals and you see artists which are great musicians and you know, they've given a great contribution to music and everything like that. But these songs are so uplifting.
Uplifting. And remember what we were saying, even though this is a 90s and noughties podcast, a lot of these songs are pre-90s, but it's how they make you feel now. Yeah?
And the other thing which I love as well is that there's lots of families here, and I bet there's going to be a real family fest. Everyone's hugging, get a selfie with mum and dad tomorrow. It's going to be really, really great. Are you all really excited? You should be. It should be amazing. Has anybody peaked?
Lovely.
Nobody's peaked too early yet, no? That's why you're all over here, taking it chill today.
Have a glass of Prosecco and then make your way over. All right.
Exactly. Now, finally, finally, on the podcast, every week we get to crown somebody of your choice as the Royal Hunness, okay? So that means they are our Hun of the Week on the podcast, and they will sit on the Royal Hun Hall of Fame and become this week's Royal Hunness. Now, Angie, it can be anyone you want.
I think because we're here at Cambridge and because Diana Ross is closing the whole festival down, let's crown Diana Ross.
We're going to crown Diana Ross. And because are you all happy with this? Because you guys have to be happy with this as well, yeah? You're going to be happy. So this week on the Hundamental Guide to Life podcast, I am pleased to crown... well, she's already got the crown.
She's already the queen. Motown queen, entertainment queen. She's amazing.
She's fabulous. So we're going to have another round of applause for the fabulous Queen Diana Ross. She is this week's Royal Hunness. So what's going to happen on Monday then? So will you be all festivaled out?
Monday, I'm not taking the day off work. I'm actually looking forward to going on Smooth Monday afternoon and talking about how great this festival's been, not just from a music point of view, but from what we're doing now. You know, everything that's going on in the park with the families, the food, the togetherness, and just this really good feel that's just around at the moment. Definitely going to talk about that.
I don't know about you, but over the last couple of years, being at events like this with your friends and family and all the things, it just means so much more. And I know that sounds like gushy-mushy, but I'm going to give you a quick example. Last week, I did manage to get to a festival before I went away, and I went to Mighty Hoopla in London, which was amazing, and I saw the original Sugar Babes back together. And I'm telling you, they're touring this year. I hope they announce a tour. If you do get to see them, it was... Did you go? It was phenomenal. They were phenomenal. I just
Train comes and I know its destination. Love them.
And then we saw Steps, and do you know who else I saw? As well? Macy Gray was amazing. I'd never seen Macy Gray, but Macy Gray was amazing.
I say goodbye and I choke. Woo!
I try to walk away and... I won't sing, but I can. No, I can't. It's great to see everybody here enjoying time at the festival. So, back to the radio on Monday. Can everybody tune in for the backstage goss?
Absolutely. Yes. Listen to Smooth, 4 p.m. till 7, either on your radio or on Global Player. Download it. You can listen anywhere. I will be talking about it. Believe me.
Fabulous. I'll be tuning in. I want to know all the things about Diana. What was she drinking? What did she say? Who did she stand by? Did you get a selfie? That's what I think we want to know.
Definitely.
Good luck. Good luck. Ladies, gentlemen, Huns, everybody, Dallins, please put your hands together. She's been absolutely phenomenal. You're going to see her lots and lots here at the Cambridge Club Festival. The fabulous Angie Greaves.
Thank you. Fabulous. You're so lovely.
Fabulous, fabulous.
Well, that's it. Another episode of the Hundamental Guide to Life is over. But before you go, have you checked out the brand new Hunsnet website? www.hunsnet.com, our brand new home on the Tinterweb. Need to get tickets to Hun Brunch? We got you, darling, as all the tickets can be found there. Not yet pre-ordered the brand new Hunsnet book? Hitting bookshelves this August, might I say. Don't worry, babes, all is forgiven, because you can pre-order it on the site. And finally, if you want to treat yourself or one of your honeys to a dead gorgy present, you can browse our full range of merch too. Log on now for all things Hunsnet on the web, www.hunsnet.com.
Insanity Group.